Welcome back. Good morning, Marita.
Good morning, Angel dear. How are you?
Good, good. It's a beautiful, sunny fall day here in
Mm,
Hills. Yeah, it's been very sunny, very cold, also very bright light. So it's been really beautiful.
beautiful.
So, what are we talking about today?
Yeah, I think we're going to be talking about a little bit of that right there, what you just shared with us, sustenance, of being nurtured, of having enough, and allowing ourselves to be resourced.
Mm,
So you already kind of started talking about how just being outside or having that day is giving you resources, right? Giving you abundance. So why don't we delve in a little bit more with some of the imagery that you were sharing before?
yeah, I think there's something interesting that happens in the human psyche or the human brain, especially from a Western perspective. When we get stress, when we have anxiety, when fear arises because we are entangled into our screens and stories, and we feel very small and we feel very disempowered very often. We feel very alone. And that's the biggest misunderstanding and falsity probably that we carry, this disconnection. And I'm not talking just because I'm living, maybe in a building in the central of the city, and the city is buzzing and I'm not feeling well there, but also when we are living in the countryside like I do in a forest and beauty around. I've witnessed that every single time that I just step out on the land during the day, during the night, and I just look around, there is this immediate feeling good. There's this immediate nourishing that happens. And with the relationship I've developed with certain tree beings, certain animals, the little stream that goes down the land, I can always find relationship, connection. But
Mm.
sometimes I forget about it. I get very entangled, right? Get too much
Mhm.
maybe on social media or someone's telling me a story, and I can see how my mind just enjoy the stories, enjoy, like those fractions.
Take
Uh
the popcorn out.
yes, yeah, right. The mind is just very looking for fear, for danger, for what might go wrong. This old survival brain, right? There is a threat going on. And sometimes we even hear about something that doesn't even happen nearby. It happens on the other side of the world, and we feel that, right? And I think, I like to balance that with, yes, we are interconnected with all human beings. And when part of human beings are suffering, we experience suffering. And if we're not numb to that pain, we're going to experience it. If we have, capacity to open our heart, to feel compassion and empathy, that's always present. But it should not come at the detriment of losing our power, losing our clarity, losing our ground. And the resourcing is always available as we reconnect to those wild places that are resourced, that know how to come back to equilibrium, that knows how to heal by not attacking the wound, but finding a way through. It always um, amaze me when, sometimes there is this big environmental catastrophe with the ocean and the rivers or a forest. And then a year later, people come back and life is back. Life is piercing back. I remember years ago, they discovered there are those mushrooms growing inside Chernobyl, inside the most radioactive place. Those mushrooms are growing and eating the radioactivity. And nature find the way, find a way through the pain, find a way to what feels like it's ground zero. There's nothing left, and yet life bursts from those places. And I think, as we going through tumultuous time as a collective, globally, because of many issues that we're facing socially, environmentally, politically, economically, and many people suffer, from the system. I think people suffer more also because they don't have the tools and the places and the know-how to reconnect to nature, to reconnect to the greater web of life that is available to us. And just coming, the other day, Tuesday, I was not feeling really well, and I just went out at night and I just looked at the sky and the stars, and it was like a shower of peace on me. A reminder to detach. Stars, have been here for billions of years, and they still shine as bright tonight than yesterday. The mountains are still standing, the rivers are still flowing. Fall season is coming, we're in it. The cycle, the sun is rising tomorrow morning. So I think nature has this amazing force and capacity to uplift us if we desire to connect to it in a humble and also very open way.
Yeah, so beautiful. Love that imagery. You brought up a few things in it. Upon reflecting, I love that imagery of like a buzzing city, right? That buzzing, like we associate humanity sometimes, many times likes that. So there's something in our system that for us signifies life, and it includes a sound, which is the energy, the buzzing of something, right? The bustle. There's something, right? But what we don't remember is that that is actually a deep desire that we have to connect to nature, because nature buzzes and it has its own frequency. And specifically, they've scientifically proven that, buzzing bees, like that vibration, is harmonious for humans. It brings us back into harmony. And bees are pollinators. So I find it really curious, right? That we feel that there's life when there's a buzz. And when it goes beyond that, we get overwhelmed, right? But that natural buzz, that natural desire is that harmony. And that harmony is in relationship to a cycle of life, as you were saying. And bees, just, hearing that bees pollinate, that they bring life, they are going out there. They also know where they always are. They have amazing internal GPS, right? That relationship to that allows us to be at peace with ourselves and with our internal capacity and our internal GPS, right? Connecting to bees at that deep, deep level. And I think it's important because many times um, human society tries to imitate natural life, but yet lacks a lot of things, right? We get drained, right, from too much information, which has a buzz, too much of a lot of things. And it's because it's an unnatural buzz, right? It's an unnatural wind that picks up. And within nature, there's always harmony. Whether there are hurricanes or windstorms or firestorms, there will always be balance because Earth is looking at time in a very different way, a very much longer way of connection. And that brings me to, this, just reminding ourselves that, when we're talking about stories, the exploitation, right, of stories, blockbuster movies many times in theaters are those movies that are really violent, right? Or the end of the world movies, right? That people flock to see the end of humanity. How interesting. We've talked about this earlier in another episode. But yet we're so fascinated by our demise, yet we're afraid of it. So there's something there really also important to pay attention to of, hey, yeah, you probably bought that ticket back in the day to watch, Men in Black, it's probably the last time I was in a theater. But at the same time, we carry that fear, right? Or all those like volcano movies or, the ape movies, that came out again is like humans have been fascinated with their demise. and it's been exploited, and we love to go see it.
Mm-hmm.
But yet we don't know how to handle it when it's in front of us, literally our lives falling apart. So it's important to know that, right? That we have that hook, that humans like that. We're addicted to that. It's easy to exploit, right? Put a lot of popcorn and peanut, extra butter on it, and we're there to watch it. And so be aware of that. Be aware of what is your tendency to allow and enjoy that exploitation of that fear and that demise. And pay attention then also to those natural cause of being in harmony and wanting that buzz or that river, that gentle river, or big river, or the sounds of harmony in the trees is something that we want, that we used to live with, right? Much more. It would drown out, it was louder, and trust me, nature is loud, than cities.
Mm.
I just want to welcome that into this discussion as we find balance again, right? That there's something natural. We spent more time in nature as humans. We haven't been around for a long time. We've just developed really quickly over the last 100 years. And so just offering that a return to nature, a return to the buzz of bees, and is really kind of a return to how we used to live life in
Mm.
balance.
Yeah, it reminds me, I find it beautiful, this bathing image you brought. But really, we become what we listen to the most, right? Uh, those are spells and cast, by nature, right? But there's also spells cast by any voices that we listen to. Right? There's so much power in words, in vibration, in sounds, in songs. And if we spend our life listening to the vibration of separation and hate and violence and end of the world, our body is going to, be really attuned to that and looking for that. But if we spend more time looking at the magical unfoldment of nature, its capacity to transform, to shift, to evolve, finding miracles literally in a little piece of grass, in one little insect maybe that's crawling on our hand in our homes. That listening, that vibration that we're listening to is what we're going to become. We're going to become more attuned to that and to that wisdom, especially, and that it carries, even just through the sound of the wind. There is deep wisdom there. So paying attention, I think we're in such an age of oversaturated information, very loud information too, that's repeated and repeated and repeated. It's literally, some people say it's witchcraft, it's hypnosis, it's however you want to call it. It just works, right? To really pay attention about, what we put in our bodies through our ears, not just what we're eating. People always talk, oh, I eat really clean and this and that. Say, but yeah, but what are you eating through your eyes? What are you eating through your ears? Right? And that can make such a huge difference in the way we then show up back into the world. Then we show up from that place with that vibration. And I think that's really crucial to be very disciplined in crafting that time of connection to that vibration.
Yes, may we find our own ways of doing that in relation. Thank you.
Thank you.